Let's get on to the next step, adding a TV. TV will sit flush against the wall, so I used a recessed outlet and ran an HDMI cable to my PC and an Ethernet cable to the router. I wanted to be mindful of my budget for this TV and opted for the Samsung 43-inch TV. It's Samsung's entry-level 4K smart TV. It was only $280. I absolutely love unboxing stuff like this. Nice sealed bag of the remote, instructions, and a cable. Because I'm mounting this on the wall, I won't need these feet, so they walk themselves to the rubbish bin. I want this centered between the edge of the wall and the slat panel. It measured at 46.5 inches. I prefer thinking on paper. Because the width of the TV is 37.9, I have 8.6 inches to divide by 2 to get the space on either side. I use painter's tape to mark the edges. Close enough is good enough. There is a little bit of wiggle room with the mounting of the bracket. One final check of the space for the TV. I use painter's tape to map out the exact size of the TV to see where it would go on the wall. I'm not sure if there's a right or a wrong way to figure this out, as I'll probably be watching the TV either standing or sitting, so I just eyeballed it. I did use a laser level to ensure it was straight and level. I added some tape where the studs are to see if the screws attaching the bracket will hit them. I just wasn't sure. There's a stud just to the left of this outlet. It looks like my bracket's going to fit nicely between the two studs. Yep, I constantly remeasure. This mark shows the exact center of the space. I then had to check if the height would work sitting down. Seemed to be okay for either winning or losing. The instructions do say to rest the TV on a blanket. I didn't have one, I just kicked over the box and put it on top of the box. The instructions were really helpful. Depending on the model, they provide the precise measurements of the mount as well as distances from the mounting holes to the edges. It was super helpful. The mount itself was nothing special, which is code for cheap. I had some mounting screws on hand and took a few minutes to determine which spaces I needed. Measuring is crucial to ensure a safe and secure mount. These brackets go on the back of the TV. Never use a power drill to screw in these screws. You always got to use a regular screwdriver. Seriously, it's not that it's ever happened to me, but you do not want the screws going back too far into the TV. No need to over tighten, just hand tightening is enough. I had a leftover packet of drywall anchors from my Alpha shelf that I put in my closet. Not normally a fan of anchors, but these were really decent and the TV really isn't that heavy. I measured down from the top of the TV to get the center hole of the bracket. The level on the bracket was helpful, but I also used a laser level. Just taping an envelope to the wall to catch the dust. The nice thing with the Alpha screw packet is it includes all the dimensions of the drill bits you need for either going into studs or into drywall. As I mentioned before, the bracket is going to go between those two studs, so I need to use the wall anchors on all 6 holes. I think 6 might have been too much. I mean 4 would have probably worked just as well. Time to remove the imaginary TV. Wall anchors go in. They're snug but I was able to push them in. So I'm still using my laser level. It goes through the center hole there just to make sure everything is perfectly straight and level, which is the same thing. These Alpha drywall anchors, they are very, very decent. I mean, they hold those massive shelving systems, so I was going to have no worries that these were going to take care of a little 43-inch TV. So the last step, obviously, plugging in the power, plugging in the HDMI cable and Ethernet cables, hanging it up, and tripping on the box. Thanks for watching.